Hey everybody, this is the Longhorn Confidential for Saturday, December 28th. I'm Danny Davis of the Austin American-Statesman. Joined today, Thomas Jones, David Eckert. Let's just get right into it. Peach Bowl countdown is 4 days away. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Yeah, 4 days away. Um, and we stay with the offensive players. The Arizona State media did the exact same things, but on a Zoom call today, Kyle Flood, the Texas OC, was joined by Quinn Ewers, Jake Majors, Kelvin Banks, Jaden Blue, Gunnar Helm. Each of them spoke for about 10 minutes or so to us in the media, answered a variety of questions. Texas also had a bit of an open practice today, too. So, kind of what we talked about, or an open segment of their practice. So, kind of what we talked about yesterday, same questions applied for today. Thomas, we'll start with you. From what you saw, from what you heard from the Texas offensive players today, what kind of stood out?
It's just a reminder because having guys like Kelvin Banks and Jake Majors and Hayden Connor on the offensive line is coming to an end. And just how fortunate Texas, specifically Quinn Ewers, has had having these guys up front for 3 years in a row. I mean, they say the right things, they answer smartly, they're thoughtful questions, they're great players. I mean, just the whole package with Texas offensive line. There's a reason they were what? Joe Moore Award. They haven't announced that, have they? They're an award finalist. They announced that.
I haven't seen it. That's a good question.
But anyway,
I believe
Uh,
they're
how
the runner.
fortunate, okay, how fortunate Texas is to have these guys. They're really good and they're really, really smart. And Texas is going to miss them. And I hope the fans miss them as well.
David?
yeah, I just think I was struck by Kyle Flood and just you can just feel his intelligence because he's one of those guys that we don't get to talk to very much. So when you do get to speak to him, it's like, yeah, he's really smart. It makes sense that this offense is good, and obviously he's had a huge impact on the success of the offensive line that we're just talking about. And to TJ's point, he was kind of noting, hey, I'm in the process of figuring out what the heck this is going to look like next year too, because it's going to be different. So I enjoyed speaking to him, and he got the same question that Pete Kwiatkowski got yesterday about whether or not he kind of aspired to be a head coach, and Pete Kwiatkowski was very quick to say no, whereas Kyle Flood gave a very distinct non-answer. So. I think he answered the question by not answering it, but
Yeah,
that would be my takeaway.
the answer is yes.
Yeah.
To follow up, Army is the Joe Moore Award winner for this 2020
Ah,
season, but
how could I
Texas
forget Army?
Texas was a finalist for the award. Two things that kind of stood out to me really quick. One, offensive line. Jake Majors spoke today, which I think is key since he missed the previous game. Texas would not bring him out today if he wasn't gonna play. I think we all assumed he'd be back, but I think that's just confirmation for everyone. And he gave a shout out to Hayden Connor, gave him an A+ for how Hayden stepped in at center for the second half of that Clemson game. So it was interesting to hear his grading on Hayden in that performance. And also QB1 spoke and probably did not want to be there. Did not seem particularly interested in speaking today. But it was interesting. He got asked a question about DeAndre Moore and that interception in the Clemson game. And not that Quinn would throw DeAndre under the bus, but Quinn kind of stepped in front of the bus in that play and was like, I led him too much in that play and kind of wanted to take the blame for that interception. So I thought that was a little bit of leadership stepping through, kind of showed that he still is confident in number zero for this upcoming game. So I thought that was a good sign of leadership from Quinn as they head back to Atlanta, where DeAndre had a pretty good game in that SEC championship game. One of the very few Longhorns who actually kind of stood out in that SEC championship game. But as we kind of turn our focus towards Arizona State, what is one who is one member on this Arizona State defense? Since we're talking offense, we'll talk about the Arizona State defense that Texas fans need to know about. Since I wrote about him, I'll take the low-hanging fruit. I'm going to take Xavier Alford, the former Texas safety who spent the 2020 season here at Texas, transferred to USC for 2 seasons, then went to Arizona State. Actually, because he was injured in 2022 and had his second transfer, he had to sit out the 2023 season. He actually hasn't played in 2 years, but this 2024 season, he's been playing like his hair is on fire. All Big 12 honoree first team, their second leading tackler, two interceptions, has played really well. It's kind of shown the promise that he had when he signed with Texas in 2020. So he's definitely a name that Texas fans already know. And they're going to have to kind of, I guess, refigure that in their minds before the Peach Bowl. David, who's your pick?
Yeah, I just want to point out a name real quick because Arizona State's defense has a contender for all name team. We've got Kavion Thunderbird playing defense for the Arizona State Sun Devils, which is amazing. I love that. Um, anyway, I think Elijah O'Neal is going to be really important for Arizona State because I don't think there's a world where Arizona State wins this game and Quinn Ewers is allowed to just sit back in the pocket and you know you just have all the time in the world. And I think that's possible based on watching some Arizona State, looking at their defensive stats. This is not a team that's really great at rushing the passer. So Elijah O'Neal is probably their best pass rusher, 6'3", 245-pound edge rusher. He started a lot at the beginning of the year. They've kind of put him into more of a niche role later on in the year, but I think he's going to have a really good game for Arizona State to win this game because if with the weapons that Texas has, like you got to get pressure on Quinn Ewers, and I think he's their best bet to do it.
TJ?
Yeah, Danny mentioned Xavier Alford. Their safeties are really, really heavy into run support. Their leading tackler is Miles Rouser. Goes by nickname Ghost Rouser. We need more nicknames in college football. Good ones. Ghost Rouser. And he leads the team in 93 tackles. Alfred's second. So the fact your two leading tacklers are safeties, that tells you how crucial those safeties are to run support for that defense. Ghost Rouser's a good physical player, and he's one of them guys. He's from Detroit. He's a hungry football player. He transferred in from New Mexico State, so he's in this Power Four conference now. Man, he's going to stick his nose in the box, and he's going to get real involved in the run support. Texas is going to have to deal with him. That said, they might get some shots downfield if they can suck in Ghost with the play action if they get that run going.
Ghost is a fantastic nickname.
Absolutely.
On the flip side, we asked this question yesterday about the Texas defense. Who is one player on the Texas offense that needs to stand out, step up in this Peach Bowl in order for the Longhorns to get to Arlington? Thomas, we'll go right back to you for this question.
One person on the Texas defense or offense?
One player on the Texas offense that has to stand out in this weekend for Texas to advance.
Gosh, can I pick two? Because I think that Blue Wisner tandem works so well against Clemson. And I really think
There
Texas.
are no rules here, Thomas. Do whatever you
Let's
want.
go. If I could get Jared Gibson in there, the freshman who I love, I would. But I'm going to go with Wisner and Blue. I think Texas is going to control the line of scrimmage. I think they're going to run it like 40 times. I think Quinn might have 20 pass attempts tops. So I think Wisner and Blue combined for 220 yards rushing. Those two guys.
David?
I go with Matthew Golden. I just think he's kind of emerged even when Isaiah Bond has been healthy as the guy in this room. You need explosive plays to win games against good teams, and I think he's the most likely outlet for them at this point. And we'll see what Isaiah Bond looks like. My reading of the tea leaves kind of indicates that he's going to play just because he's practicing, and I don't know. It seems like he's going to play, but we'll see if he's 100%. But I think Matthew Golden is the weapon in this room right now, man, and they're going to need him to have one or two of those explosives that they thrive on this week.
I would pick Queen Ewers, but I think I've already picked one low-hanging fruit today with my Arizona State offense. I'm going to go up Gunnar Helm. I think Gunnar, that isn't to take anything away from Matthew Golden, who has been spectacular, but I think he's just been such a safety blanket for Quinn in this passing game, and he also is very key in what they do in the run game as well. Last time they went to Atlanta, because of some offensive line issues they had with Kelvin injured, he wasn't able to be as big of a part of the passing game as possible. But with Kelvin back, I think they're going to use him much more in the passing game. And also, if what TJ is predicting, them running the ball 40 times, that obviously means your tight end is going to get a lot of work in that area of the game too. So I think Gunner just in both aspects of the game is just going to be so important to this offense. Then hopefully we'll get to bring him into another post game press conference because he was cracking me up after the Clemson game when he was being a little angry about some preseason predictions about his catch total, and we all know that he ended up going to set the position record at Texas for both receiving yards and receptions. So hopefully we'll get some more spicy quotes from him in post game. But my pick is Gunner.
Who knew Gunner kept the receipts, you know? Who knew he was that guy?
I had him down for 10 catches, all right, not nine, but
Yes, we'll just have you stand up front, and you can tell him that. But that's gonna do it for us. Peach Bowl is in 4 days, Wednesday afternoon, 12 o'clock Central Time, ESPN. If you're watching at home in Atlanta at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, Texas, Arizona State, it's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to have all the coverage over on statesman.com throughout the week and in the lead up to the game, obviously throughout the game and post game as well. But we appreciate you watching us wherever you watching us on YouTube or Statesman.com. I'm struggling here today. Or listening to us wherever you get your podcast. We'll see y'all in Atlanta and deuces.